Hello, hello to all my little freedom fries today. Hello, trash can waves. Hello, blind guy, his wife, their life. Hello, Community Solutions Pro. And I think there was Mrs. B Finesse around at some point and Professor Black Ops as well. I hope you guys are still around. Hello, over the top WME. I'm also ready for the show. But this show, it's not about me tonight, guys. Because as you know, I can talk, I can do a 13-hour live stream. This show tonight is about you guys. What stories you guys have for me. So I've already dropped the link into the chat. So if there's anybody who wants to break the ice with their story, feel free to click on the link. Okay. It does have to be a fictional story that you guys have written yourself. You can either read it, it could be a story that you enact out, or it could be a video. Okay. So what's going to happen is that once I have somebody who's ready to do their show, their little story, I'll bring you up. Some of you, I did prepare a little intro for you guys. So for each person and all four of you that are here, I do have an intro. So that'll be my little special prize for you guys. What I'll do is I'll have the special little intro, and then you guys, once the intro is done, you'll present your story. Oh, hello, Larita King. I think this is the first time that I see you here with me tonight. I hope you're doing very well. And as I was saying to everybody else, this live stream isn't about me, it's about you guys and the scary stories that you guys have written. So hopefully somebody has a story. I'm going to do show the little promo that I prepared for tonight's show, and hopefully we'll be able to get started soon. So if you guys do pop up into the StreamYard, don't worry, I will see you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just preparing for other things as well. So we're going to do the little promo for tonight's what I'm hoping you guys have prepared, and we'll take it from there. So, Thank you over the top for enjoying my trailer. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to get to that video I wanted to show you guys. I hope everybody had gotten a lot of candies tonight while trick or treating with your kids. Uh, blind guy, his wife, their life, Laquita and Corey. I assume you guys brought your kids out for trick or treating tonight. Was it good? Was it bad? How did it go? I hope everything went well for them. Hello, Gail, the moderator extraordinaire. I hope everything is well with you tonight, Gail. So I'm going to go into this little. Oh, hello, Black's Tropical Homestead. How you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. So since nobody has come up yet to do their scary story, we're just going to watch a little clip from Slapped Ham. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he does a lot of scary stories as well. And hopefully, this will get you guys in the mood to start telling your stories. Because again, this live stream all depends on you guys coming up and telling me your scary stories. So, in the meantime, we will watch this. We'll get it to the beginning.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slap Ham. Today we're looking at some scary videos that can't quite be explained. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more mysterious content just like this.
So I have to admit I saw a little bit of this already. Professor Black Ops, I see you there in the back. I'm going to go through this a little bit and then I'll bring you up. I do have an intro for you, Professor Black Ops. Don't worry, I see you. We're going to go through a few minutes of this and we'll be right with you. So tell me, guys, what you think of this little clip. Like I said, I've seen this bit already. I have my thoughts about it. You tell me.
The following piece of footage was taken from a CCTV camera at the Mickerbrook pub located in Cheadle, Stockport in the UK. It was uploaded by Caters News. For years, there's been rumours that this pub is haunted by a malicious spirit. Staff and patrons often report objects moving on their own and have even felt things touch them despite no one being around. Could this CCTV footage prove that this old pub is actually haunted?
Now, hopefully, Melissa Jane will join the live stream at some point because I know she lived in England and I think she was from London. But for me, I hear a lot of ghost stories, a lot of haunted pubs and places in London or in England in general. Now, this doesn't happen in London, but you know, it happens in England for sure. So let's watch to see what happens.
Take a look.
There. Glass there. That one. That is horrible. That is a face of a girl that does not want to work here no more.
As you can see, one of the
So you guys saw that, right? That the glass came out. Oh my God. Now I don't know about you guys, but I think this first story is a bit cap because it's like, the girl just literally stops and stares at the video. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
The glasses shoots across the bar and shatters on the ground. But as creepy as this one incident is, it's not
And
the
then you
only
s-
thing employees
And then you see the girl here stops and literally stares at the camera. And the camera literally panned to her. I mean, I don't know if maybe she was so used to things but it just seems in this moment, it seems so planned. Like, come on, how can this really be like a genuine haunted story? Like, it feels like this is like promo for it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we'll let it play out a little bit. I don't want to keep our honored guest, who was the first one to decide to come up, waiting too much longer.
at the Mickerbrook pub have experienced during their stay. Many of the workers have said they've felt their hair being pulled in an aggressive manner by an unseen presence, one that they've since given the name Harry. And they've also said this isn't the first time a glass has been flung across the bar and shattered.
Can you imagine you're a ghost and somebody somewhere decides to name you Harry? I mean, come on. That's just crazy.
In addition, punters have reported seeing a mysterious shadow-like figure donning a black hat, who usually stands in the hallway before disappearing without a trace. So what in the world could possibly be going on here? Can this all be chalked up to strange circumstances and coincidence? Or is this old pub genuinely haunted by a deviant spirit? Let me know your take on this in the comments section down below.
Okay, so that's enough of this little clip here. So, Professor, I'm going to play a little intro for you, and then I'm going to bring you up to the live stream. Hopefully, you do have a scary story, even if it's something that you make up on the fly. Because again, guys, this whole live is for you guys, okay, and your live stream. If there's one story and it ends after 10 minutes, that's the whole show. If there's 20 of you that come up with 20 stories and it takes 3 hours for this live stream to go on, then it's going to be 3 hours. I have no problem with it either way. I want you guys to enjoy this live stream no matter how long it lasts, no matter how many people participate in it. All right, so Professor, I'm going to go ahead and play the little intro I made especially for you. And once I do that, I will bring you up, and the floor is yours to say whatever, whether it's a scary story or not. Okay?
I'm trying to show up. Let's not forget I'm old. You should ping me sometimes. If you ping me, I'll show. But I had you on my calendar. I'm like, oh, my calendar ping, I got to get there. So,
Exactly. Look, I don't think there's a huge age difference between you and me. I
think it is. I think I got you a decade, I think.
Yeah, well, that's not huge. It's a big.
It's huge.
No, it isn't. Look, once you're in your 40s, 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't
you're
really.
Right. No, that's a good point. That is a good point. 50, 60, and I'll count rounds up. Facts. So now I want to come and support you. Make sure you help you get them hours and I subscribe to you. I thought I was subscribed to you, so I hit the link. So I'm a subscriber. I thought I was one. So I'm in the box. So I'm in the house. So
don't worry. I'm glad that you are here, and I did open up Melissa Jane had mentioned to have a second tab open and you play other people's content. So that's what I did with you and no problem, my pleasure. Because like you said, it's the watch hours that are often that going to be like what it's 1,000 watch hours. How many is
4,000. It's
4,000. Yeah.
It's like 4,000 is that equals to 240,000 minutes. The average person watches a YouTube for 4 minutes. So that's a lot of minutes. So.
Exactly. So it's like, and that's why I always tell people, look, if the only thing you can do to support somebody is open up a second tab and play their videos, if that's the only thing you can do that, man, because it's like, that's the hardest thing. Because you can do a lot of things to get the subscribers. You can do a lot of things to put in the videos. There's lots of things you can do, but the watch time, like you said, like if the people are not willing to put their eyeballs to the screen, you're not going anywhere. You're going to be dead in the water. And so it's like I said, like if that's the only thing I can do for somebody is open up a second or third tab and play. Huge. Exactly. Like right now I have like 3 tabs open for like YouTube, and like one of them is playing like Before the Billions streams. And especially him, it's like he has those like long streams of 3 or 4 hours. Hello, Kareen, how are you?
I was surprised he didn't have more hours when we were talking the other day. I was like, wow, you got a long way to go, man. So,
I'm
surprised.
Yeah, well, especially for me, a lot of my videos, like I've only recently started to take YouTube a little bit more seriously. So in most of my videos, I have something like 200. Most of them, like they're just shot with my cell phone or my DSLR and nothing really, like really well put together, So I think that's part of it too. Like if you're not bringing up content that people are enjoying or that is well presented, people are like, why would I want to bother with this?
And it's too, and it's matching them up with your subscribers, because as my subscribers getting bigger, I think they like a little more of my technical content. When I first did my technical content, some of my subscribers, they wasn't that in security, so I started doing, you've seen some consumer security getting hacked on PayPal, Zelle, your baby webcam. So that applies to everybody. Then I started doing more technical stuff for more security-minded people. So try to get a different mix for different people. So
yeah, exactly. And I noticed for me, what seems to be working is the movies. And ironically, my top videos until like maybe last week when I did the live stream with Before the Billions and Community Pro about Squid Games, I have 12 episodes of an old TV show called The Shadow. I don't know if you know that show.
No, I didn't. I saw when you posted. I was like, I don't think I've heard of The Shadow, so I need to go check it out.
Yeah, it's an old show. I think it's technically from the 1940s or 50s. Okay. Those ones until the longest time were my biggest ones, and they weren't even mine. So it's like people were coming to like watch everything but me, so it's like,
But that's how it worked. I did one on Colonial Pipeline. I didn't think anybody would like it. I did it in like 10 minutes, and that's my highest video, and it's only like 600 views. So the stuff I didn't think would people like, they end up liking them. I did one on OnlyFans getting hacked, so that's like my 5th highest one. I think. So
there you go.
people gravitate to different stuff. So
That's it. You never know. And I was talking to Community Solutions Pro as well, because she wants to start her channel as well and start taking it seriously. I said, look, sometimes you have to do a variety of different things and see how it's going. I do see somebody else in the backstage. I'm gonna give her intro as well. So I'm just gonna be back with you in a moment. So it's give me a second here, guys. I see you, and I will get the right intro because I made sure to name them so I would know which one to get without making a mistake. Now, if I can find it, here we are.
As like messing up payroll and deleting people's financials because man, I was scared for him, like Professor Black Ops. I was like, bruh, woo,
I thought my career was over before it started. I was an intern. I thought it was over with.
Exactly. I'm gonna turn this around a little bit. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, I have a strap on my phone. I want to make sure it does not fall into the fire, and I'm trying to make sure I keep it. So I'm trying to think of. Oh, I was supposed to be prepared, right? Corey is the one with the scary stories, and he was over there smoking a cigar with a friend. But I do have a scary story from tonight, I guess. So this fire, this is a simple story. Like this is like the typical story of a fire pit with friends with kids, right? So all of the kids are like, oh yeah, I want to roast my marshmallow, and we're all like, yeah, okay, kids, we got you. We'll help you roast your marshmallow. But of course, everybody's knuckles are burning. Like as soon as I'm gonna get to a lighter place. As soon as they, no, do not stoke the fire. See what I mean? Like this scary story is happening right now. I wanted to come up here where there's a little bit more light, but Thriller is here. You got a scary story, Corey? Oh, okay, I'll come over there to where you are, Corey. Okay. So yeah, my current scary story is kids and the fire. Like they're getting burnt up, but not burnt up, not set on fire. I'm coming in, Corey. Leave the door open. You bringing the baby in?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So.
No worries. Do you want me to put you on mute for a second, Laquita?
No, these kids are just here. Like I'm here. Yeah. So yeah, long story short, the kids are. Y'all be quiet. Get out of here. I'm on the show. So yeah, there's like right now there's somebody playing with glass. This is scary. Look, he has a big glass jar up to his mouth.
Oh boy! Don't drop it.
That's what I'm saying. The scary ensues. Like it's constant, it's continuous. Stop. I know she's happy, but stop. I'm on a show. They're trying to keep the baby happy. They're playing with the baby.
Of
It's a
course,
lot. It's a lot happening. So this is
I can
I'm,
imagine.
I'm currently involved in a scary situation. Let me just say that. And it's interesting when the adults are spirited, you know.
Oh yeah.
Corey, you want to come give the quick story? Sit here next to me. No, you're telling this. She stole my thunder is live. Professor Black Ops is on here. Sit next to me. All right, Corey is joining us.
Excellent. That's always good news.
All right, Corey.
Hello, Corey.
They're saying hello, Corey. I have my headset on, so
Yeah.
Corey can't hear you because otherwise it's even more noisy.
I can imagine.
What costume you think I'm wearing?
Oh, okay. Corey wants to know, Professor Black Ops, what
Oh my
costume do you
God!
think
Oh my God!
Corey
That's so...
is?
He's the hood
Corey?
zombie.
What's that?
The hood zombie? Is that what he said?
No,
Yeah, the hood zombie.
I'm a Washington football team fan.
Oh, he said he's a Washington football team fan.
Hey, my team lost today too, man, so I can't say nothing.
He said his team lost today too, so he can't say anything. What team is yours, please, Professor
I'm
Black
an
Ops?
Indianapolis coach.
Indianapolis.
Oh, that's what he Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Corey, do you have a story? Sit back. Because we're once we're done with this, we'll let somebody else have a turn.
All right. Long ago in a far-off village, there once was a warrior standing in the tree watching over his people's herd of cattle. And all of a sudden, something grabbed him and shook him and threw him down from the tree that he was standing guard in. And the next day, when the herdsmen came to check on the cattle were missing, and they found the warrior under the tree, dead.
Dead.
Oh my goodness.
Again, on the next night that the cattle were out grazing at night under the moonlight, a warrior stood in the tree, and all he could hear was and the crunch of grass from the grazing cattle. And something grabbed him and shook him and threw him down from the tree. And the next day, when the herdsmen came out, they found him dead. So the leader of the people and the elders got together, and they said, there must be some kind of magic that's helping this tree steal our cattle. There's a madman who lives amongst the hills who claims to have magic power. Bring him before the people and let him tell us how he's doing it. So the leader of the people sent his best soldiers out into the mountains. They captured the madman and brought him before the people. And the elders asked him, how are you stealing our cattle? He said, you want to know how I'm stealing your cattle, do you? I got magic power. I control the things of the night. It could be a lion, could be a leopard, could be a cheetah, or it may be all three. But whatever it is, you'll never see it coming. So without any proof, they had to let the madman go. The next night, when the herds were out grazing at night, another warrior is found dead beneath the tree the next morning. Once again, the elders sent the soldiers to the hills and they captured the madman again. He said, you still want to know how I'm stealing your cattle, huh? I told you I control the thing.
Hold on, wait. There's like a dog howling in the back, like a real dog. Hold on. Can you guys hear him?
We can hear him.
Go ahead, Corey.
I told you I got magic powers and I control the things of the night. The leopard, the cheetah, the lion, or maybe it's all three. But whatever it is, you'll never see it coming. So this time, instead of letting the madman go to work his magic, they tied him up, and the chief sent his own two sons out to guard the cattle. He told them to tie ropes around their waist and to tie the other end to the tree so that when they were attacked, they could not be thrown from the tree and they could defend themselves and tell everyone what it was that was attacking the people that they could not see coming. The next day, when they went out to check on the herds and the chief went with them, there was 4 more missing cattle, but no dead warriors at the bottom of the tree. The chief had no choice but to find out what had happened to his own sons. So he put his knife between his teeth and he climbed the tree. As he climbed here, he thought it might be a leopard. He climbed higher and he heard, he said it could be a cheetah. And as he climbed higher, or maybe it's a lion. He heard, or maybe it's all three. When he reached the limb where the warriors should have stood, he drew back his knife, and what he saw shocked him. He saw the very thing that was attacking the guards at the night and throwing them from the tree. He saw the very thing that was helping the madman steal the cattle from the herdsman. He saw the thing that attacked. He saw the thing that is hanging over you right now at this moment as I speak. He saw that what was attacking the warriors and his own son, he saw they had been attacked by sleep. There he saw his two sons swinging by their waists from the tree, fast asleep. And from that day forward, the entire land knew what could attack them that they would never see coming.
Oh my goodness, what a story. Bravo, bravo.
She said, what a story, bravo. She's clapping.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Corey, I'm sorry, Corey can't hear you. I have you in my ear.
How do you say thank you
in French?
In French, not
merci.
Oui. That's yeah.
I know. That's all I know.
Merci beaucoup is please, right?
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
That's please, right?
Say it again, please. She stole my thunder.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Is that thank you or is that please? I forget.
Yeah, that's thank you. Thank you a lot.
Oh, okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
a lot. Yes. So that's our story for the night. Other than keeping children from being burned at the stake out there in the fire pit, drinking from glass jars. Now you guys know that, the thing, what's the name of it, Corey?
Thing you never see coming.
Now you guys know about the thing you never see coming.
Exactly. Thank you so much. You're welcome to stay on as long as you want to, but I know that you have kids to be mindful of and a fire. So if you need to step away, please do so. I don't want to keep you longer than needed, but thank you for being here, Lakita, and thank you to Corey. Give him a big hug and kiss for me later on. It was a great story, and thank you for any support that you can give me in my channel. I love it. I always love hearing you guys and seeing you guys in your lives and everything else that you guys do. So best of luck to you and the kids tonight, and save me some of their candy, send some.
I know, likewise. This is great. This is such a good idea. So thank you for having us as well. And we are, I've eaten lots of roasted marshmallows. We made s'mores. We had chips and dip and sandwiches and everything. And there was a movie playing on the garage. So we're kind of wrapping things up now, which means I'm going to hang out in the chat while we help clean up. Yes.
All right. Excellent. Thank you again for being up here.
Yeah, no, thank you. Professor Black Ops is always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. See you later this week.
I know. Hold on, Corey. What do you want to tell him? Come sit down.
Professor Black Ops.
Okay, he can hear you now, Corey.
Since you are an Indianapolis fan, I'm going to do this for you. Omaha, 98, Buffalo, Blue Ox, Omaha.
I appreciate
I'm going
that.
to say Professor Blacktop's live.
I appreciate that.
He appreciates it, Corey. All right, guys, we're going to be in the chat. Well, I'll be in the chat, and I'll be letting Corey know what's happening and all that stuff. And then, I'll be listening in.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm going down the chat too.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Professor Black Ops, for your. Go ahead.
I'll be in the chat.
Oh my God, they just fell down.
Oh no! Help us!
I know. Sorry, guys. Don't worry. I hope you're okay. You should be fine. Dust it off. Pop your collar. You'll be fine.
That's it. Thank God for that Canadian Medicare. My goodness. Oh, geez.
You're talking about thank God for that Canadian Medicare. There you go. Yeah, y'all got the good life there.
That free healthcare helps a lot of people. I can tell you. I don't worry so much when I cross the street.
Did you hear Corey hollering?
A little bit. I earlier heard part of it. What did he say?
Just now, he said, "Bonjour, mon ami."
Bonjour, mon ami. Tout va bien?
Tout va bien is what she said. I don't know what that means, but I'm not even sure if I said it right. But yeah.
Yeah, you said it right. I said, "Hello, my friend. How are you? Everything good?"
Hello, my friend. How are you? Is everything good?
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Or as Bug Bunny say, mademoiselle.
Oh, okay. I've got to go now. They're doing
All
something
right,
for the
no
baby.
worries. No worries. Go for it. Go for it. Thank you guys again.
All right. Take care. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you too.
Guys, remember she's not a toy. She's a baby.
So thank you again to Laquita, Corey, and Professor Black Ops for being up here and sharing their scary stories. If anybody else has any scary stories, I'll repost the link to come back up to the StreamYard. In the meantime, I'll go back to playing a little bit more of the video that we had before. Uncle Stu, you're more than welcome to come up with a story or just say hi. And anybody else, I know a lot of you said you don't really have a story, but we can make it into something else. If you guys don't have a scary story, feel free to come up and share maybe a scary experience that you had, a Halloween when you were a kid or something. I don't mind changing it up. And hey, if it doesn't work one way, you go the other way. That's life on YouTube. Sometimes your streams don't go how you planned, and I'm fine with that. That's the joys of being a professional YouTuber. So I'll go back to the video again. The invitation is open to everybody to join on the StreamYard. So just give me a second to get back to that other video and we'll continue watching. It's called Slapped Ham. He's another YouTuber. I believe he's Australian. He shares a lot of scary videos as well. So we'll go back to him and I will put the clip into the description so those of you afterwards who want to watch the full video without interruption will be able to do so. So this is about where we left off. Let me get back into here and we'll start playing.
That is horrible. That is a face of a girl that does not want to work here no more.
The following video captures something that no parent would ever want to see on their baby monitor video feed.
So this is very apropos with Laquita and Corey talking about having to worry about the kids that are now in their home. We now have here a scary story about what is captured on a baby cam. What could be happening here now?
This video, which was shared online by Caters News, shows a baby in a crib during the middle of the night. At first, nothing of unease can be seen, but that doesn't last for too long. Take a look at the bone-chilling footage and see if you can notice what makes this video so unsettling.
So what do you think it is, guys? What do you think is scary or unique or different about this particular clip? I see it, but hey, do you guys spot it? Do you guys see what is, oh my God, so scary about this clip?
Settling.
So she's digging a hole to go. Your baby sister's awake.
Now, I've spotted a couple of things. And yes, Friendsgiving. I mean, honestly, like who lets their kid like shaking around? But you guys might notice what's this here, this little face by the baby. And you'll also notice the shadow moving at the bottom left of the screen. Those are very scary things here to me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Parents in the chat, if you saw your baby moving around like this, wouldn't you go to see what's going on? And wouldn't you see this baby's face and the shadow at the bottom left? Hmm.
A face can be seen peering in at the baby.
I don't know, baby. Where's Everest?
Seconds later, the infant begins thrashing about in the cot.
So she's digging a hole to get out. Your baby sister's awake.
So I don't know. to me again, this is one like the previous one where it's like, you know how a lot of the baby stuff has like toys around them and like has a lot of like baby pictures and that kind of stuff around it. I'm thinking this is what's going on, is that like there's a baby picture here on the bed and that's what we're seeing.
Melissa Smith, the mother of the baby in the video, insists that she's always been a huge skeptic when it comes to anything related to the paranormal. But that all changed in September of 2016, when, after a miscarriage, she began to experience some truly terrifying things going on and around her house in Toronto, Canada. The same night,
Oh, the things that happen in Canada. Crazy stuff here, right? Don't come to Canada unless you guys want good healthcare. Thank you, Joel.
Melissa lost her child, she said that a children's toy began turning itself on and off and started to play music. In addition to this, she also claimed that the closet doors would begin to slam shut, and she could hear mysterious banging on her bedroom door despite no one else being home. Strange.
I always feel bad for, mothers that lose their babies because of miscarriage. And it is weird that she had this miscarriage. And sure enough, that's a good pause that I did here. I completely had accidental little blur, and I did not plan it this way. Hello, Mr. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you have a scary story that you want to present. But if not, you guys are more than welcome to join the live stream with or without a scary story. Maybe talk about some of your experiences as a kid during your Halloween adventures and, or mishaps or what have you.
Strangely, if we watch the footage again, there appears to be a shadow on the left of frame that comes in and out of the footage.
Yes, Mr. Austin, this does seem to be a separate baby's room. And if you look at the top right, it does seem to be associated, like we're seeing like a baby camera picture, or video, I should say. So basically, the baby does seem to be in its own room. But I mean, I don't know, like, I'm not a mother, so for those of you who are parents, like how loud does a kid, like when they're moving around like this, like how much noise does that make? Like, is it enough for you guys to be like, hey, my kid seems to be moving around in the bed a lot, I might need to intervene? Or is it so quiet that you would never know? You guys tell me. Like I said, I'm not a mother, I don't have kids, so I don't know how much this would, the kid does seem to be moving around a lot here. So not a lot of noise, Joel. Okay, interesting. So yeah. Oh, oh. Yeah, make it bigger. There we are.
To get out.
Admittedly, this might just be from the person who's filming the baby monitor footage on their phone. But this still doesn't explain that mysterious face peering in on the crib.
It's like she's digging a hole to get out.
So what do you think this mysterious ghostly face is? Is it the ghost of a child, some freaky coincidence? Or is this just a trick of the lighting and Melissa has nothing to worry about? Whichever way you look at it, it's certainly a frightening piece of footage.
My baby sister's awake.
So what do you guys think so far? We've seen two clips from this slap ham video. Do you guys think this proves that the paranormal actually exists? Or are these two, maybe proof that people are really good at faking clips? The first one feels a bit like a setup almost, with the glass falling on and breaking, mostly because of how the employee just stops and stares at the camera. It kind of feels like a setup almost. While the second one just feels more like, not necessarily fake, but like, you know, like I was saying, like a lot of the baby stuff has like baby pictures all over it, so it kind of just feels like that looks like, you know, the Gerber baby picture. It just looks like that kind of a picture that's just like maybe the parents didn't take it off of some toy or bedding or something like that that they have, and it was just like because of the angle of everything and the lighting, it just made it look scarier than what it actually was, you know? So we'll go on to the next clip. And again, if you guys have stories or something that you want to share or questions, please feel free to come to the live stream and let's talk about it. You know, I know that I had two intros that I included for both Laquita and Corey and Professor Black Ops. If you guys have questions about how I created them, feel free to come up. Okay.
Nottingham's Prism nightclub is rumoured to be haunted. It has a turbulent 95-year-long history and was once the site of a correctional facility which housed some of the UK's most notorious criminals. According to some eerie CCTV footage captured on site.
Now tell me, guys, anybody here who's in their 20s or 30s, would you go to a club with this kind of lightscape and colorscape and all that? This just like, I guess Prism is a really well, like, a good name for this club because it does look like those prisms, you know, like those little toys that you see like as with a kid, but like made so like it does, it feels right. But again, we have another story here from England. You know, I don't know how often you guys watch these kinds of videos, but a lot of them happen in England. And yes, you're right, Community Solutions Pro. The Hotel Cecil has a lot of history. There's a lot of people with criminal background that stayed there. I know that there was a Canadian girl that passed away under really weird circumstances at the Cecil Hotel. So, hey, if you guys have stories like that that you've heard that you want to share, feel free to come on to the live stream as well. I know officially this, you know, live stream was supposed to be about you guys sharing your fictional stories, but hey, if you have other stories that you want to talk about that are Halloween related or scary related in some way, feel free to come up tonight. You know, I guess I have to do things a little bit differently. Like I said, I'm more than open to changing things up tonight. So feel free to come on and, you know, join the live stream. We'll continue with this little clip here though.
It seems perhaps the spirits of the former inmates never left. The manager, Thomas Dodd, was checking the security camera footage one night when he saw something that shocked him. Take a look at the footage and see for yourself.
Well, Mr. Awesome, if you have two experiences in a short story, feel free to come on board to the live stream. I know I'd be happy to hear your stories, and I'm sure everybody else in the chat room would love to hear your stories as well. Oh my goodness, did you see that? Oh, so Community Solutions, I do see you in the back there. I'm going to finish this little clip. I do have an intro for you. So I'll play the intro. So once you see that, you know it's your turn to say whatever it is that you want to come up in here and say. We'll finish this clip and I'll be right with you. Okay, community? I see you.
As you can see, one of the bar's fridge doors appears to miraculously open all by itself before a bottle goes flying out of it. As you can probably understand.
Now, imagine you're a ghost. Now, they did say that this building was a prison before or something. Now I don't know, like I don't know what the difference is between a prison and a jail. Like I think one is more like temporary, like for minor offenses, and the other is like more like hardcore. You did something really, really bad. Yeah, the ghost of an alcoholic, possibly. But they were saying that they think that it's a ghost from somebody that was died maybe while it was still a prison. I don't see why a prisoner would haunt a now a now club. I see you there, Kareen. Kareen, thank you for coming up. So it's really weird to me that, like, I don't know, like, you tell me, guys, like, if you were a ghost, would you haunt a bar or a club? Or, like, I don't know, for me, I would, like, try to maybe find a relative that's still living, like, especially if I had died in a really, like, weird way. Like I wouldn't want to stay here in Honta, and then just to throw out bottles of beer. Like there's like two or three that you see flinging out, and then the door closing back up. Like it's
To
ridiculous.
Stan, Thomas was shocked upon reviewing the footage, and still to this day has no idea what could have caused the bottle to fly out of the fridge. It hasn't been made clear whether or not Thomas is skeptical of the paranormal, but it's hard to explain this any other way.
All right, so I'll bring up my next guest. I do see two people that are there. So I will bring up Community Solutions first and foremost. I will give you your intro. So here we go. Very strange circumstances in the hotel. I believe her body was found in the water tank on the roof, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and it's the kind of thing that like you can't just walk into it. So it was like a really like, and she's not exactly a 6'5" and built like a bodybuilder. She's like a petite little girl, and like how could she open it up? How did she get there? And she was like behaving really strangely as well, like the night before the day of her disappearance. And I think it took them a few days to discover her body, and it took them like the water was like coming out brown or something before they, hey, let's go see what happened. And that's when they found her body in the water tank. It was a really sad circumstance, and I think to this day, I think they closed it as like an accidental death, and there's no real like, people are not happy about how it was handled, the whole case, and it definitely left a bad stain on the hotel's reputation.
Yeah, worse than
Yeah.
what it was. I mean,
Yeah.
there were murder suicides. There was a lady who jumped out of the window. I think she threw her baby out the window and she jumped out the window. This was like I think in the 40s or 50s, but
Mm.
the long history since it was built is like cursed or something.
Yeah,
But I think that
exactly.
lady's name that you're talking about, Melissa Lamb, if I'm not mistaken, they had like all these sleuths on YouTube who were trying to like put together the case to try to figure out what could have happened to her. Because when she got on the elevator, it looked like she was talking to somebody or running from somebody and she was acting strange.
Yeah.
So people were trying to figure out, was anybody chasing her?
Yeah,
And she
exactly.
went to LA by herself, and she had some issues and stuff like that. And people were like, oh, well, she, downtown, that's near Skid Row, so people acting strange is not gonna send up a red flag. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly.
people are going to be like, oh, okay, and just cross the street and go
Yeah.
about their day. They're not gonna check on anybody. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
unfortunately.
mm-hmm. Yep.
All
So
right.
that was my little story.
All right. Thank you for coming up. You're more than welcome to stay or go back down into the chat, either way. But thank
I'll
you
make
for
room for
being here.
somebody else because I think I saw Mr. Awesome or somebody had a story as well. So I'll
Yeah,
leave and go back down into the chat.
no worries. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
Kareen, how are you?
Hey there, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I hear apparently the chat is saying you're burning the midnight oil here. What's going on, Kareen? Kareen, you that busy?
I don't know what's going on. I don't think I'm burning the midnight oil.
Okay,
But
okay. I don't want to use it, abuse you, but thank you for
mm-mm.
being here. What would you like to share? Do you have a scary story?
Okay.
Maybe something that, yeah, go for it.
One, the first one, the discussion with Professor Black Ops. You and I are around the same age, and you inferred that your age group is the same as someone in their 50s. That's scary because it's not. Because I'm not in the same. So I just want to clear that up. That's scary, okay? And don't scare me. I'm not in the same age group as someone in their 50s.
Well, it's more the fact that once you're hit 50, the 40s, like your mentality is not that different than something. And look, let's be honest, low 50s is technically Gen X. And I'm Gen X. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
go by the letters of the generations here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold on to,
Look. I know. Look, we know you're 16. It's okay.
No, it's 24. I'm actually 24.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
old
yeah,
enough
you're
to drink, right?
okay. I got you. That's fine. Look, you want to be 24. Don't worry.
Yes.
I got you, girl. I got you. Don't worry.
Okay, another scary story, right? So I had visited my great grandma in rural Jamaica, right? And she lived in the country. She was born in 1900, so it's like like where she lived is like very rural. The family, like when someone dies, you just their tombs, you bury them on the property. So like my great grandfather and my great great grandparents also buried on that same property. So I was walking with a friend at the time. We were little children, and we saw something. It's a shadow, but it's like a man, but it looks like a shadow, very tall. And both of us looked at each other at the same time and just started running. So I know I saw it, and she saw it too, because we just started running at the same time. So we ran into the house, and we told my great grandmother what we saw, and she's like, "That's your great grandfather," because we described him. And she took some white rum and like threw on our heads and started rubbing us down, because she said if she doesn't do that, like, he's gonna visit us at night. So that's the way to get him off, not to visit us anymore, whatever. And then when I went back home now to Kingston, I told my mom, she was pissed because she's not like old school. And she's like, she could have just sent the damn rum. Like, you're gonna waste some good like Ray and Nephew white rum, just to rub somebody down. So she was pissed. But that's my scary story. I did see a ghost. I believe it was a ghost because I saw it, and the girl that I was with, she saw it too. So that's my story.
No, it's a good story. I mean, and it's interesting that you say that like people just bury their dead on the like family property, or wherever is appropriate. Because for me, I know every once in a while, I do visit, there, where I am in the part of Montreal. There's like, it's the Notre Dame Cemetery, and it's one of the biggest cemeteries. But there's a lot of very beautiful like headstones that are very well carved. Like, do you ever do that? Like, just visit like a cemetery like that, or do you believe, oh my God, there's ghosts there, I better not spend too much time there, or else I'm, an evil spirit or something, or even just like somebody that's like, a ghost would like latch on to you?
To me, I don't even do the Halloween thing. So no, I wouldn't visit a cemetery just for the hell of it. As far as for it to be something recreational, no. Not that I'm necessarily afraid of ghosts. To me, it's just, I don't see the fun in it. Like, I
No,
don't
of
see
course.
the fun in it.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, like for me, like I am an amateur photographer, so I do take photos of, the grave sites and the tombs and all that. And it's like some of it, like I said, it's really interesting and to see like how it's well done. Especially like a lot of them will do like the little baby angels and stuff, like the cherubs and stuff, and it's really well done. But yeah, no, that's just me. Maybe I'm just weird like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
depends. Because, like, see, our culture too, like, for example, like, again, like when I would like go visit my great grandmother, and, we would take walks as kids and stuff, there was a saying like, you don't point at a grave, because if you point at the grave, your fingers are going to rotten off. So you have to bite all 10 fingers. Like, if you make the mistake of pointing in the direction of a grave, you have to bite all 10 fingers so your fingers won't rot.
oh
Like,
wow,
like just
yeah.
silly stuff like that. When you're a kid, you obviously believe all of that. But then,
Of course, of course. Yeah, no, it's and I mean my mother's Trinidadian, so like
oh,
yeah, so I heard a lot of these stories and a lot of these traditions and so forth, but it's interesting to see how like you said, how like our parents or grandparents, how they view things, and like
mhm.
how they like understand the world. And yeah, you don't waste good rum.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
exactly.
just don't. Like like Trinidadian rum is definitely one of the best rums you're ever gonna get. So you don't waste that stuff on anything. But yeah, it's just interesting to see the changes in mentality. And like I'm sure your kids don't view afterlife the way you do, and don't
Right.
necessarily like have the same rituals. Like if you did that to your kids, like they look at you like, why are you
Yeah,
rubbing
she
alcohol
was,
at me? Get off of
man,
me.
my daughter would have probably called CPS. She's like, listen, she's trying to kill me.
You know?
Yeah. And the older folks, they believed it, they believed it. So you can't really, and I think if you believe it and you're more in tune to certain things, then
Mhm.
you're more likely to, like, say, for example, if you don't believe in that stuff and you're in a house and you hear strange noise, you're just going to think it's the wind. But if you believe in that stuff and you're in the house and you hear strange noises, then you're going to think it's something else.
Exactly,
So it's just a
exactly.
matter of, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Of course, with voodoo, like
Mm-hmm.
it only works if you genuinely believe that it actually exists and that it actually will work. Um, I forgot the name of the movie, but there was a movie relatively recently, like I'm thinking no more than 5 years ago, that came out, where that was the whole plot line of the movie, was that this young lady goes to take care of this elderly couple that seemed to have like dementia or some kind of mental ill issue, but it's discovered that they were actually using voodoo to switch their minds with other people's body, and they would live forever that way. So they
Mm.
ended up using this girl, like the old woman went into the girl's body, and the took the girl's mind into the old woman, and
I
that's how
saw
she.
something similar to
Yeah,
that. A movie like that spooked me out.
yeah, exactly. That's crazy to me too. Like, like, and all because even though at the beginning of the movie, she's like, oh, this is just, an old couple that's, maybe going senile in their old age and all of that. And, now it's like, because she saw, like she heard the creaking noise and the little thing, all these things build up, and now she believed it. And that's how, the couple was able to switch their bodies and so forth. And it was like, really weird. Like, and to me, that's like a good horror movie will
Yeah.
have you, will have you believe it in things that,
Yeah, you
like,
start thinking.
like, yeah, hey, like me, I wasn't raised to believe that voodoo and all that stuff exists and is real. So, but at the end of the movie, I'm like, oh wait, should I start believing? Should I be
Yeah,
like a
you
little bit
just
more
don't
concerned?
know.
Like, should I need to just do I need to get some more crosses here? Jeez. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird like that. It's so weird. But I imagine in Jamaica, you guys don't really celebrate Halloween, right?
No, no, no.
No.
That's why I don't, because like when I came here, it's, these things are traditions that starts when you're a child. So I
Mm,
came when I was when I was 12. I was almost 13. So by the time I came, it was just like, it's nothing to me. So I just never really got into it, not for like religious reasons or anything. It was just like, I
yeah,
just never
exactly.
got into it. Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course, of course. And I think Halloween tends to be more of a really typical American thing. And then,
yeah,
of course, here in Canada and I think the UK as well, we do celebrate by de facto American influence, So,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I don't see other countries really getting deep into Halloween, especially since it's not related really to any particular religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
While as Christmas, it's like, yes, it's definitely like if you're a Christian, you're celebrating Christmas no matter what. There might be a question of what day, because I think
Mm-hmm.
the Orthodox Christians tend to celebrate it somewhere near like February or March or something like that, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, so now that we've established, okay, that you're 24, and you
Mm-hmm.
said that you moved when you were, so you've been in the US for 11 years. What brought you 11 years ago to to the US?
My mom, it was
Your
my parents that, yeah, my mother made that decision to move. You know, to me, I didn't see the need or the reason to, because we were fine. But the parents owned the house. My dad would travel back and forth they had decent jobs and everything, but America just has a lot of opportunities.
mm,
She viewed it as, so really it was just a decision that they made to move here.
yeah, that's good. That's good. And I imagine, like, since you were like 12 or 13, how was school different for you? Because I imagine you spent a few years in school in Jamaica and then a few
Hmm.
years school in the US. Like, was there something different about it? Like, did you feel that you had to catch up a lot, that you were ahead? Like, what
Um,
was the difference
yeah.
experience for you?
Well, as a quote unquote poor as Jamaica may even come across, the education system is like very advanced. So I was advanced in school when I came. I did struggle with American history because when I came, I and I had skipped a grade in Jamaica. So when I came at 12, I was already like in the ninth grade. They put me in the ninth grade
Hmm.
here, and we were doing American history. So obviously I struggled with that. I knew nothing about American history, but everything else I was advanced in. I was very fortunate though, because when I moved here, the community that we lived in was like an immigrant community, because I hear a lot of immigrants sometimes when they move, they had issues like, be teased and things like that or whatever, bullied. I moved to an immigrant community, so we had a lot of Jamaicans, Haitians, first generation, Italians, Irish. Like, it's like every immigrant, black or white, wherever you're from, it seemed like they moved to that community. So it was just an easier transition. But what I did find strange too, though, is like I went to a Catholic school in Jamaica. When I came here, I went to a public school. Catholic school system, very disciplined. The nuns were like something else,
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yes, there was Italian nuns. They were just outrageous. They would beat us and stuff. And we're praying like 10 times a day. And every time a nun walked in the room, you'd say, "Good morning, sister so and so." So going to a public school, they don't have like that discipline. So that was weird for me. The kids talking back to the teachers and things like that. It was like, that was just unheard of. I never saw that when I was in school. That was weird.
I can imagine. Yeah. No, I've always grown up in, public school. Born and raised in Montreal. But I did hear a lot about the Catholic schools because Quebec in general tends to be mostly Catholic. So, I mean, you do hear a lot about it until basically the 1940s or 50s. The Catholic Church ran everything in the province. You know what I mean? You could not get away with it, like away from it, I should say. So you definitely had stories, you heard stories from the older generations of, like you said, like the Canaan, and
Jesus.
you don't talk back, you don't do, like, and it was like, you hear the stories of the women that, like, by the time you were like 16, 17, you were married, you were like had your first baby like within a few weeks of being married. And like if you had like just 4 or 5 kids and that was enough for you, the priest would go to your home and be like basically shaming you, like, it's like 4 or 5 kids back in the 1930s. That was like shame pretty much,
I only
like,
got one child, so I would have been shamed out of Montreal.
Oh yeah, they took it really seriously. Like it was like really like it, because that was the purpose of a woman, like you had to have babies. And as long as everything was in working order, your whole purpose, like baby after baby after baby. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because that's the priest doesn't know the pain of childbirth, so he can, go around and tell people to go have all these babies. He doesn't.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's why here in we had what's called La Révolution Tranquille, which is basically French for the quiet revolution, where a lot of people are like, you know what, we're fed up with the church controlling everything. Like they control the education system, they control hospitals. They were the government, essentially, the Catholic Church. There was I think for the longest time, Montreal was known as the city of bells, because we just had so many churches. Like every corner of you'd have a church. You know what I mean? It was like that religion was so inculcated into our everyday life. Now, of course, it's like you'd be hard pressed to find a church that would be like filled to the brim on like any other day but the holidays, like
really?
Easter. Yeah, exactly. I think it's I mean, although now I think people are going back to the church to some degree, but it's definitely not what it used to be. So for sure, definitely things have changed over the years. So yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know, like what did you do as a kid in Jamaica that you miss, that you wish you could have your daughter? It's a daughter you have, right? Yeah. What is there something that you would love to have your daughter experience that
there was a feeling of just being free. Like when I would meet my great grandma's, she had a lot of property. We still have the property, but it's like this farm, like everything. So she had coffee, pimento, mangoes, everything. So it's like as a kid, you'll just walk and you just pick a mango, eat it. You pick an orange, you eat it. You just out there. You know, you're safe. You're just enjoying life. There's just a feeling of being free. And then where my parents live, we were like walking distance to the beach. So we could walk to the beach, you know, on the weekends and things like that. And it was just a more relaxed lifestyle. So
Excellent.
just that feeling of just being free and relaxed and, you know, good weather and good food all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's definitely a different because I did go to Trinidad. I think it was in 2001 or two. It's definitely a different world in the islands. You're not. It's definitely not Montreal, even though technically Montreal is an island. It's definitely not the same kind of island like Trinidad or Jamaica or what have you. It's definitely very interesting and definitely different atmosphere.
People are
Um,
more fun in Trinidad too. Like they get together, it seems,
mm,
and just, you know, right? Listen to music and do the family thing more. Probably more
yeah,
so than like in Montreal.
yeah, exactly, definitely. And I mean, there's the Kerry Festa, of course, every February. But I think obviously the past couple years, because of you, we know what things have really obviously have changed
Hmm.
for everybody. You know, some things for the worse, some things for the better. But I mean, that's the way life goes. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So now I don't know if anybody else wants to join the chat. So
Mr.
Mrs.
Awesome was up, right? And he,
Yeah,
I
I
guess,
think he said he wanted to come up, but he said he needed a few more minutes. So maybe, I don't know if he's still, maybe getting his stuff together and all that. Because I think him as well, he has a kid. But Mrs. B Finesse, if you want to join, you're more than welcome. Bonsoir, Peter. J'espère que tu vas nous joindre. C'est un bon moment. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of French. Had to quote
show
unquote show
off.
off. Yeah. Just a little bit of it. But yeah, anybody's
Mr.
more than.
Awesome said he's ready. He's coming up.
There you go. So I'm sending down the link again for anybody who wants to join. So Mr. Awesome, please come on up whenever you're ready. Anybody else who wants to come up, trash can waves, you're definitely more than welcome to come up. Um, Professor Black Ops, I know you came up earlier, but you're more than welcome to come back up. Community Solutions, same thing as well. But yeah, it's good to have just a basic conversation, even though tonight didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. It's okay, I can live with it, right? I'm learning a lot from you, 24-year-olds.
Yeah, I
You
tell you,
know,
it's hard.
you
It's
know.
hard out here, but hey.
It's hard out there to be a 24-year-old.
Oh, the struggle, as my daughter would say.
But at 24, you're a bit young to have a kid of your own. I mean,
Listen, if I tell you, I might have to, you know, kill you. So I can't tell you. I
it's
can't tell
okay.
you.
We all know that show. What, 16 and pregnant or whatever.
Right, exactly. I was 3 and pregnant.
Oh, okay. I see how it goes. I see how it goes. All right. Well, we do have Mr. Awesome here that's going to join us, but you're more than welcome to stay, Kareen, or go back in the chat.
Back
Either
in the
way.
chat. I'll let Mr. Awesome do his thing.
Excellent. So thank you, Kareen, for joining us here.
All right, later, huh?
Hello, Mr. Awesome. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Hello,
Can you?
hello. Thank you for joining.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So I hear you have a couple of stories for us. The floor is yours.
Yeah. So, just some strange events that happened in my childhood in the
Mm-hmm.
islands, and then there's also one that actually happened quite recently in 20 like 2019 2020. No,
Mm-hmm.
actually 2018. Um, which is pretty weird, but so I'm from Dominica. Um, and we have, like, I guess you can say, like, the superstition. You know how we have your local boogeyman or ghost stories.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, ours was called Sukunya, right? And I'm not
Sukunya.
really. Yeah, I'm not really sure what exactly it they described it as, but it was like kind of like ghosts, not really ghosts, but creatures of the night that would lurk on your roofs because we had a lot of galvanized roofs, and so to keep them away, you'd stick magnets on the inside of your ceiling, and that would keep them
Really?
from landing on your roof. Yeah, that was the story, right?
Yeah.
So, and you know, a lot of times because it's metal, it'll
Mm.
as during the nighttime, during the daytime it heat up, but during the nighttime it just starts to shrink, and that causes you could hear the like make sounds like a sonic cracks here and there.
Mm.
And excuse me. And as kids, they'd tell you, oh, you know, that's them walking around in this on the roof during the nighttime, right? It's scary, it's pretty scary stuff because you'd actually hear a sound and we wouldn't know what it was. But so the two things, and then there's another monster called the Jumbi, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And those are described as like hairy, flying monsters with two legs, or yeah, regular bipedal
Mm-hmm.
claws and vicious, right? So one story was I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I went with my mom to visit some family, and they lived in the hilly area, different houses, and one of the mornings when we went there, there was a murder that
Mm-hmm.
happened right across the street from where we were staying. And the story was that it was a woman, and that while she was showering, a pack of jumbies saw her through her window. She left cracked open, and they came in and they ripped her in half. They ripped her body in half,
Oh
and
wow.
she's dead. Yeah. So I don't
Yikes.
know. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I don't know how true that was. I don't remember if anyone had that I knew actually seen her body,
Mm.
but that's the story I heard from it, and I remembered ever since. Sorry.
Yeah. No
And
worries.
um, the second story that happened in Dominica was about the same. I was around the same age, like 5, maybe 6 by then, and I
Mm-hmm.
was sleeping. I was sleeping, um, and like a dark. I woke up. I thought someone woke me up. It felt like someone woke me up,
Mm-hmm.
and as I woke up, it felt like I saw like a dark shot, like a darkness leaving me, like leaving my room, and it was
Yeah.
like something was covering me at first, and like she got pulled, and I got up at the start, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's the remnants of something dark leaving, and then later that day there was a commotion going on where we lived, and we went out in the street, and
Mm-hmm.
there was this lady believed to be possessed. She was standing on top of the roof. She It was very windy. I remember it was overcast, like it was about to rain,
Mm.
and she was on the roof yelling at the top of her lungs, naked, with
Oh
nothing
wow.
on but a chain around her neck, like a necklace around her neck, and she had her arms out, and she was like crazy, like waving it crazy, and she was possessed. And some guys managed to get her down, and she just kept wailing and struggling against them, right? So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
those were,
That's
yeah, those are the two that happened in the island.
wow. That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that story of you waking up, I mean, I hear that a lot from like people who have I don't know if you've heard of it, like sleep paralysis, where it's like you awake but you're not fully awake, so you're like you're aware of your room, but you're not like in control of your body, so you can't move. And a lot of people describe what you're saying, where they see a shadow or they have a sense of dread. I remember
Mm,
going through that once too, where it's like I woke up, I was aware of my room, but I couldn't really move. but for me, it only lasted a few seconds. So I can't imagine, like, for some people, they say that they could go through this for like a few minutes, and it's like, it's apparently really terrifying because, like you said, like you'll see shadows, you'll have this sense of like impending doom and stuff, and then to see something like later on, like it's easy to make that connection of like that experience of you waking up and, okay, was it a ghost, was it sleep paralysis, and then later on something happening. It's really crazy you know
Yeah, yeah. It definitely wasn't sleep paralysis. I was still
hmm
sleeping.
okay.
I don't know, like people, when you're about to like you're sleeping, but you're about to wake up. You ever feel that when you're sleeping? Like when you're about to wake up?
Yeah, I remember going through that more when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I do remember that, like, or just like the reverse as well, like a few moments where you, like you said, you're sleeping and you're about to start a dream. I don't know if you like had that as well. Like I remember as a kid, that's like I've went through, and like sure enough, a dream would kick in, and of course, like, when I woke up the next morning, I don't remember the dream, but I remember, okay, I'm about to sleep, I'm about to get into deep sleep, and I'm about to start dreaming. That I remember. It's like really weird, the human mind, how it works like that sometimes. Hello, Mr. Awesome? Uh,
Hello.
yeah, yeah. Oh, there you are. I know
Yeah,
every once in a while, I know your audio sometimes kicks out.
yeah. When
But
I
yeah,
when I'm away from StreamYard, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that happens. So this next one happened in the States, in Florida. I'm in Florida, right?
hmm Yeah.
So my first job was at Taco Bell. I started at 17 in 2017. Um, and
Sorry. I'll just interrupt. Is this actual 17, or are you working with Korean age here, where it's a different 17 here?
no, it was actually 17. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I was in 11th grade in high school. So I came to the mainland. So I was born in Dominica. I left when I was 7 to live in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, and then I left St. Thomas to come to Florida for ninth grade, beginning of high school. So so I believe it was either a Saturday or a Sunday, one of our slower days. And one of my coworkers, she'd have her daughter be with her in the store while she's at work, right? And this girl came in. The lobby was empty. It was a slow day, and this small girl came in. She was, I'm pretty sure she was an adult, a young adult, but she was
hmm
really short. Like she was like either like 5'11", I mean 4'11" to 5 foot, and she was acting strange. She didn't say much of a word, and she just stared at you. And I asked her, would you like to order? And she just stared at me, and she had some book in her hands. I believe she was just in some dark clothing, but and she was black, and so yeah, she just like stared at me and like tilting her head, and I started laughing a little bit because I thought she was joking,
mm
and I'm like, she looked up at the menu, and she pointed at something. I don't remember what she said though, because it wasn't. She did not order, definitely, and she walked in like a slow measured pace,
hmm
like deliberately. It's kind of weird. Um, and she walked away from the register to stand by the window, and so she didn't say anything. So I went back and I went to the back, um, and then I looked checked the cameras to see what she was doing, and she was pacing around slowly around the lobby. It's a pretty small lobby, and the coworker's daughter was in one of the cubbies in the center the lobby. She's doing her. I think she was on her tablet or something, working on something. And she had stopped, and you could tell that she was talking to her. And all of a sudden, her daughter started screaming, and the coworker rushed up to the counter. We all rushed up front to see what was happening. And then by the time I got up here, my coworker was threatening the girl, saying that she'd knock her out, or like threatening violence towards her. So and she got her daughter with her, and they went to the back to calm down. Come to find out, that girl told her daughter that she was going to kill her.
Oh wow.
And then she started yelling, "I'll kill you all of you. I'll kill all of you," to everyone in the store.
Wow.
And so we called the police, because obviously she was not in her right mind.
Of
We called the
course.
police, and before they could get here, she had walked out. She wasn't even anywhere. She, the same measured step, walked out and started walking next door. We had an O'Reilly's next to us, and there was like a little strip, and further down was a laundromat, a Dunkin's, and a gas station, right? So the police came and they apprehended her. When they were back, they told us what happened. And they had seen, apparently she did this to the other stores along the way. And they finally apprehended her at the gas station. But he was saying how it took almost like 4 men to hold her down while she was struggling.
Oh wow. That's the mother or the kid?
The kid.
Oh wow.
The girl, the woman, right? So in my head, at that after him saying that, kind of like confirmed it, because there's no way it takes, these are police officers, 4 grown men, to hold down a 4'11" little she wasn't a little girl, but girl, right? It makes no sense to me.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, either it was extreme psychosis, which in some cases I guess can might give you some extra strength since your mind isn't on this normal limiter, or like some type of possession, the way she was walking and her proclamations. Like, and this was like afternoon, sunny time, sun is out.
Yeah,
and it really scared the little girl, the daughter.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, it's crazy how like it, and I did a mini live stream yesterday about just that, like people's perceptions of ourselves and each other, and sometimes we, when we see a little girl or a smaller young lady, we assume they're not really threatening, they're not really strong, and what could she possibly do? And like you said, it took several police officers to hold her down and really get to her. But I have trash can waves waiting in the back room. Okay, so I'll. Do you have anything else you want to say, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting pretty scary for your boy Will Smith too.
Okay, so
his
what I'll
wife out
do.
here tarnishing his name one table talk at a time, man. It's sad. It's going out bad.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'll do is I'll play Trash Can Waves intro, and I'll let him up, and you'll be able to continue your story, and or we'll pass the mic to Trash Can. So just give me a second. I'll play his intro now. I mean, yeah, worst case scenario, just make sure, like, I don't know if you still have the on YouTube, maybe just put that on mute or whatever, or, but I'm not hearing any, any issues with your audio.
Okay, so I don't know how y'all do it in Canada. Do you all have like uh career day where the parents would come to the school and they'll talk to the kids about their careers and stuff like that?
No, that's not something that happens very often. At least not in the schools that I've been to. I mean, I could see it happening in Ontario, which is a province next to me, where it tends to be more similar to what you guys do. But in Quebec, yeah, no, career days are not. We do have guidance counselor that talks to you about your potential careers, but career day, not really.
Okay, that must be an American thing then. So we have career days over here, and it starts at elementary school, and we have a week to where different parents of different children will come to the classroom and they'll talk about their career and talk about their jobs and everything. My dad would frequently come up there. He worked at the bank at the time, and he'll talk about his jobs, and all the kids loved him and everything. And there was another dad up there. He was a correctional officer, and he'll come in and he'll tell stories about being a correctional officer. This is elementary school, first through fifth grade, so it's pretty tame. So we got used to that, and of course they brought the best toys when the cops and the bankers came. They brought the best gifts because they had passed out different gifts from their workplace and their job, and they're passing it out to students. So students loved that. But when it progressed to middle school, we had DPD would come in and they would do our like a scare straight program for the kids, and they'll try to scare them from going into the street life, and it got a little more serious from what we was experiencing elementary school. It got to the point where they'll detectives will come up and they'll talk to us about staying off the street and everything, and they brought one guy and he was in a wheelchair and he ain't have no legs, and he was telling the story about how he lost his legs as a kid, and he got hit with a 5.45 39 round from an AK-74, and what that bullet does is it flips around when it hits you, so it's like a saw. They call it a chopper. It cuts stuff off. So when that bullet hit him, it cut both of his legs off. It went through one leg and into the other leg. So it got pretty intense. The following year, they brought another guy to the school who got shot in the stomach, and they were showing the bag he had on his stomach. He had to use the bathroom in it and stuff like that. So us being kids, we didn't pay no mind to it. We joked about it or whatnot, and we just stupid kids. We just not taking anything serious. Even though this man coming in here, he's talking about losing his legs and everything. The kids had joked back and forth about the whole situation and whatnot. And the detective, he saw that. So the following year he came in. This is our last year of middle school, 8th grade. He came in and he said the guest he gonna speak for his guests because the guests can't be here for themselves right now to talk to us. So he goes into this story. He starts talking about this single mom got pregnant at 15, and she had this kid, and the dad didn't stay around, of course, and this mom was raising this kid on her own, and everybody said she was going to fail at raising the kid, and the kid wasn't going to be anything. So this mom made an effort to make sure this kid was raised right. She sent them to the best daycares. She worked 2 jobs to put them through into the best daycares and to private schools, and he was a really smart kid while he was growing up and whatnot. So he gets a little bit older. This mom's always walking him to school and caring for him and everything like that. But as he gets older, he starts looking for a male role model, and he can't find it in his mom. But in the city that he's around, he sees these guys that are out there selling drugs and they're gang members and whatnot, and they're out there riding around in the best of cars, dressed nice, Maseratis, Mercedes, and he's looking up to these male figures, like he wants to be like that. That's what he considers success. They're able to buy anything they want and do anything they want. And of course, he wanted to take care of his mom and be able to do that for her. But his mom told him, "Hey, just concentrate on school and stop worrying about all this other stuff." So anyway, it goes on, and the mom has to take on another job, so she can't walk the kid to school no more. So while the kid's walking to school, he start interacting with these gang members and trying to talk to him, saying he want to be a part of them, and they saw him to be different from them, so they pushed the kid away. He kept coming up there. He wanted to hang out with them. He'd go while they talking. He'll sit down next to him while they're talking and different things. And he's trying to be a part of them. And then at some points they beat the kid up and everything, but this kid would not stop following these guys around. So one of the big homies, they decided, hey, all right, you want to be a part of us? We're gonna give you an opportunity to be a part of us and whatnot. And the kids started hanging around them, and they let them hang around. And they was acting like they were friendly with them, and they were friends with them. But really, they didn't like the kid because they was jealous of the lifestyle he was living out. His mom was taking care of him and everything. They didn't really like the kid, so the kid kept asking to join the gang. He wanted to join this gang. They kept telling him no and no and no until they finally said, all right, we're going to give you an opportunity to join this gang. And this is a story to be telling a bunch of middle school. In school. Normally, it's 100 people in this auditorium, and normally it's a noisy auditorium. And you can't hear yourself listening to the story, following what's
Sorry
going on and whatnot. So,
Sorry to interrupt, Trash. I don't know if it's just me, but your audio seems to be breaking up. Is it the same thing for you, Mr. Awesome, or anybody in the chat can confirm if yeah. Continue talking, but every once in a while yeah, that's a lot better. There you go.
Okay, maybe I had to get closer then. I'm a little far.
Yeah, exactly.
Did y'all get the most of it then?
Yeah, we got it. It's just Kareen is concerned that a ghost got you, and we want to make sure that you're here with us. We don't want the sixth sense to be the story of your life.
No, I'm still here. So kid, this study, y'all heard about the kid, and he's trying to join this gang.
Yeah, we got the story that he wanted to join the gang, and that they were basically testing him and beating him up and giving him a hard knock life for trying to join the gang.
Okay, we're right on track with it. Then. We're right on track with it. So they finally tell him, we're going to give you an opportunity to join this gang. We're going to give you a couple tasks to see if you're willing to go through it. So the first task they give him, they want him to break into somewhere and help him steal something. The guy goes along with it, and he does it. And the next task is that they want him to.
Sorry again. Your audio seems to be like in and out. Like when you do short sentences, your audio seems to be okay. But the second you start talking, like, are you moving around?
No, I'm pretty still. Let me try this. Let me try. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm on. Yeah, I disconnected the mic, and I'm gonna use the laptop mic because there might be a delay in there.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. So you
Okay.
seem to be okay now, but I'll let you know if it gets, because it's an interesting story, and I don't want the audio to take away from what you have to say. So.
Oh heavens, no! Hear me all right now? How about y'all?
No, your
Oh,
audio's
okay. Can you hear me now?
yeah, now your audio is good.
Okay, everything is disconnected except for my headphones. So
Yeah, exactly.
you
There you
ready?
go. We're ready. We're
Okay.
here with you.
All right. So they give him another task, and he has to shoot at some people. And this guy goes along with it, and he shoots at some people. And then they give him his final task, and to where he can uh finally be initiated into this game. And they told him, no matter what it is, you got to go through with it because you in it right now, and you got to go through with it. So the task they give him, they say meet him at this warehouse at night. He meets them at the warehouse at night, and it's dark, and there's they have a woman there, and the woman has a bag over her head. He can't see who she is. He don't know who she is, but and he can't hear her talk because her mouth is taped or whatnot. So they tell him they want him to assault this woman here, and his thing, he don't want to go that far. So he tries to say no, he don't want to do it. But if he doesn't, then the gang say they're gonna kill him, and they're gonna or they're gonna hurt him or whatnot. So he goes along through it, and he's assaulting this woman. In the midst of him doing it, they pulled a bag off her head, and this is his mother down there. So the kid starts freaking out, and he runs away, and they leave him there. They leave the woman there. They don't do anything to her. They leave the kid, but he can't live with what he did, and he ends up killing himself. And well, he offs himself. Let me not say kill. So he ends up offing himself, and his mother ends up going crazy about because she lost her kid. She ends up in an asylum, and we're thinking that this is all a made up story. Then the officer comes and he pulls up the news articles about it, and he shows us it's a real story. And that shit scared me as a kid because I thought it gave me anxiety. I thought something could happen to my mom or something could go on like that. I was real afraid, and that was impactful because it stuck with me for all these years since then. That's it.
Of course. No, cool. And was this a story that the police officer was claiming to have really happened, or was just this more like of a scare tactic story where he was mostly making it up?
When he comes in there, he always show us different videos of different shootings and things like that. And he'll blend the videos with like Training Day and different movies like that. So we're thinking that this is not this is some fiction he's trying to use to scare the kids. But no, he let us know this is a true story and it's really happened. And if you keep down the same path, you can run into people. And it brought me up because I ain't know it was some fucked up people like that will really do that to a person.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. You seem to still have every once in a while some audio problems, but I have Before the Billions in the back, so I'll let him up. Do take a moment to check your audio, Trash. Just if you do want to stay on, you and Mr. Awesome are more than welcome to stay on the panel or go back into the chat. It's up to you guys, one way or the other. If anybody else wants to join the panel, feel free to do so. So I'm going to put in the link to join the panel. I'll give Mr. Billions his or as I call him, the bougie billionaire. His intro, he'll come onto the panel. And again, Mr. Awesome, Trash Can Waves, you're more than welcome to stay. If not, you guys can take your bow and call it a day. It's up to you guys.
I'm gonna bow out and I'm gonna go back in the chat and I'm gonna hold it down for you there.
Thank you, Trash. Thank you. Have a good one. Looking good as usual. The blue light suits you.
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right. So before the billions, I'm going to bring you up in a moment. I'm just going to give you your proper introductions, and then the floor will be yours.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I hope the intro played well because it was bugging on my end.
Yeah, it was like speeding up and slowing down a few times, but hey,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here. I was
Thank you
actually
for.
about to okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying I was actually about to go live, and I saw that you were live, so I said let me go ahead and hop in real quick to say hey to everybody. Hey, Mrs. B Finesse, thank you so much, my big sis, for having me on your panel as well the other day. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Yeah, no, it's like it's a busy night for everybody. I think JP, the aspiring mic track, wanted to do a live as well, and I saw a couple other people. I mean, it is technically Halloween, but thank you for stopping by. Depending on how things go with everybody, I probably will stop the live stream relatively soon, so people will be able to join yours later on as well. So um, basically, I was hoping that we'd have a fictional scary story competition going on, but as it turns out, people are more telling their own, scary stories that they've, been through during their youth, maybe something from their, Halloween past or something. I don't know if you have a scary story or a scary experience, maybe you had a nightmare when you were a kid, or something happened on Halloween that you would like to tell us about. As I would always tell you, the therapist is in. Tell me your stories.
Yes, ma'am. So I have two stories. These are both real. I start first. Both of them were when I was younger. So the first story is, um, it was a few years ago. Oh, not a few years ago. It was over 10 years ago. And my dad was in the hospital. He had issues with his gallbladder. He had to have surgery. So he was at the hospital in Fayetteville, Georgia. All right, so it's down south of Georgia, down it's south of Atlanta, and we were going there. I was like, okay, I got to go see my dad to show my face and make sure that he's okay. Um, at the time, my grandma was dating this guy, and she always calls him this guy. She never says his actual name anymore, so we'll just refer to him as TG. So TG was a man. He was older. He was in his had to have been mid 60s, probably 70s, and he used to be an alcoholic. Well, not used to. He probably still is an alcoholic, but he's an alcoholic, and he smokes and all this other kind of stuff. My grandma also has bronchitis, but since when she was with him, he would, I guess, influence her, and then she would start smoking too, even despite having bronchitis, which is, of course, is not good for you. Uh, in addition to the age that they're in, grandma's in her 70s. So anyway, the what happened was she was dating this guy, and actually she actually got married to him. I'm sorry, they got married to each other like right after that. But we I was in the hospital with everybody, and then my grandma says, "Hey, I want to get some ice cream from like Dairy Queen." So I said, "Okay, I can ride with TG." So TG's like, "Okay, I'll drive you." We drive over to Dairy Queen, and everything's going okay. And we're having a conversation. This is like one of my first real conversations with the guy. And what happens is that we pull up to Dairy Queen, we order our food, and then they tell us that, hey, you're gonna have to wait a little while because we had to finish cooking your fries or whatever it was. So we're like, okay. We pull up to the side to wait for our food to come out, and then all of a sudden he says, hey, wait right here, I'll be back. Now, when somebody says, wait right here, I'll be back, this something's going on, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't know what exactly he's doing, but I wait in the truck, and then it had to have been like, an hour or something like that he had been gone from the truck. So I'm sitting here outside of Dairy Queen. We had already gotten our food, and I'm just waiting. And I got kind of nervous. I was like, okay, well, what is going on here? And I still to this day don't know exactly what he was doing. But what happened was I was like, okay, that's a little too long for him to be gone. So I called my grandma. Actually, I called my stepmom, and I was like, hey, TG just left the truck, left me in the truck. I don't know what's going on. So she tells my grandma, and then I guess my grandma called him, and he starts storming back to the truck. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? So what happened was he opens up the truck door, and he starts yelling at me. He's like, "Oh man, you done started some shit now." And I was like 15 or something like that at the time. And I was sitting here like, man, why is this man yelling at me and cursing at me and stuff like that? We were just having a good conversation. I didn't know what was going on with him, and I swear I thought he was gonna like attack me or something like that because I told on him that he left me in the truck for so long. But that right there was like extremely scary. I had to let my dad know because I'm just trying to see my dad. I'm not trying to get into anything. All we were trying to do was just get some ice cream, but he just was yelling at me. A lot of the stuff he was saying was quite abusive. Um, but overall, that was a really scary moment for me. Like being 15, having this grown man yelling at you like because you didn't know where he was. But yeah, that's one thing that happened. That's the first story, and then the second story is a story about how I almost drowned, and this was I had to have been like 13 or something like that at this time. My dad, my stepmom, stepbrothers, and my little brother, we all went to Florida. We all went to Orlando, Florida, to Universal Studios, and we stayed on the resort. Well, the resort had a 13-foot pool. So I said, okay, well, I can go into this 13-foot pool with my brothers, my stepbrothers, and my dad and my little brother. They were off to the other side in the kiddie pool. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead, and I wanted to jump in first into this 13-foot pool. So I jump in first, and for some reason, I had my mouth open as I was jumping in. And then I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I'm going to be able to get back up. But for some reason, like I didn't really know how to swim like that. I had never been trained on how to swim. I just kind of felt like, oh yeah, I'm grown enough to be able to jump into this pool and be able to swim back up. Well, I jump into the pool, have my mouth open, a whole bunch of water flooded into my mouth. I start coughing and choking, and for some reason I couldn't get back up. So I'm wailing and stuff. I'm trying to get myself up. I'm flailing my arms, moving my feet, and nothing's working. I'm actually sinking because I'm struggling. So I'm struggling, I'm sinking, and I'm like, oh my God, I got my two brothers here. So I think I'm gonna be okay. Nope. My twin brothers, they were just looking at me. They said, "Oh man, I can't help them, because I'm taller, I'm bigger than my brothers." So I guess they were kind of like scared that they didn't want to drown too. So they were just like watching me drown, as I'm sinking down to the bottom. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I usually wear glasses, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't really see. And then the chlorine in the water was getting my eyes. I couldn't, really couldn't keep them open for long either. And my mouth is already full of water, so I can't really breathe. So I'm like, okay, this is just so many things going on. Oh my gosh. And I am at this point, I've been down there for it felt like it had to have been 10 minutes, but it wasn't. It probably was closer to a few seconds that I was down there. But for some reason, I'm actually at the bottom of the pool, the 13-foot pool. At that time, I was like 5 feet something, 5 feet 6, I believe, or something like that. So it's really deep for me. Yeah, now I'm 6 feet, but back then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at the very bottom and I feel something touching my feet and I feel it pulling me in. And then I look down, I open my eyes, and I swear that I saw a black figure grabbing onto my legs. And it was crawling up my legs, trying to hold me. And it was holding me down, and I couldn't move. I couldn't even flail my arms. I couldn't flail my feet. I couldn't do anything. I was just sitting there sinking. So this black figure, it was in the shape of a man, a grown man who I never seen before, and I couldn't see his face. So uh, I start praying like, oh my God, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die right? I'm only like 13. What am I gonna do? Um, and so a few more seconds pass by, and I'm like, okay, I can't do it. I kind of accept my fate, and I almost accept that this black figure was pulling me in, and I couldn't do anything about it. But luckily, my dad jumps into the water, and my dad used to be a police officer, so he knows how to swim very well. So he jumps in, he swims all the way down to the bottom. He holds me, he picks me up, and takes me away from this black figure, and he swims up to the top and it saves me. And he saved my life that day, and I couldn't thank him more enough for that. But yeah, that is that's what happened, and of course my dad got pissed off, and he told everybody going back into the hotel, everybody going back into the resort room because I almost drowned, and he said, "No, you can't even swim, so we're gonna go back, and we ain't never going back to the pool." So for that whole vacation, we didn't go back to the pool, but that is my second scary story.
Wow. No, it's like but it's that when you said you had that black figure, I was, as you were talking, I was trying to find the name of the movie because earlier this year, like a month or two ago, I remember going to the movie to see a particular movie, and for the life of me I can't remember the name of it, but it had that same sense of this black figure that was essentially trying to, let's put it this way, cancel the main character. And it was sort of related to her husband who had canceled himself, and because of the things that he had done. So it kind of reminded me a lot of that story. But it's I'm always surprised about how many people in the Black community don't know how to swim, and I'm always wondering, like, what is it about the Black community that, like, these days it doesn't take much to go in and to learn how to swim. I mean, I hope you've learned to swim, since then. Like, have you taken lessons, or was that something that you just like, okay, forget it, I'm not bothering to learn how to swim?
Yeah, I most definitely learned how to swim after that experience
Mm,
because I actually took classes. My mom signed me up for some classes to learn how to swim, and it got to a point where after I had almost drowned, I remember my cousins. They were like, "No, no," they call me. My nickname is BJ. They was like, "Oh
mhm,
no, BJ doesn't know how to swim." So I was older, but then I couldn't watch my little cousins at the pool because they were like, "Oh no, you don't know how to swim." And this was
mm,
even after I took the lessons. So I was like, ever since then I had got a reputation
yeah.
of I almost drowned. So yeah, they couldn't even trust me to to watch my little cousins after that. But even still, to answer your question, yes, I did take classes to learn how to swim.
Yeah, no, it's and I mean it's just speaks, like I said, how there's so many things that in the Black community we just don't learn to do for some reason. Swimming is one of them, where like my mother never learned how to swim. She would tell me stories, well, yeah, well, she's Trinidadian, and she's like, well, yeah, when you're in Trinidad, you're surrounded by water. You would think that we would all learn how to swim, but you just learn to, you just stay at the shallow end of, the ocean, and you just let the waves take you, kind of thing. So you're not like, you're in the water, but you basically doggy paddle essentially, and that's the extent of the swimming. But I think I'm always surprised to see so many Black Americans or Black Canadians just not learning how to swim, or not learning, finances and things like that. But yeah, no, it's really weird. But hey, I'm glad that you learned how to swim. Now, of course, there's a blind guy, his wife, their life, that says, "Yeah, I I can't really swim, but it's because we don't want to mess up our hair." So for us ladies, it's more of a practical reason of not wanting to mess up our look. But no, I'm glad that you learned how to swim, and that you survived that story. And like you said, that thankfully at least your father was aware enough of the situation, because that's the thing with drowning. It's a silent killer essentially. You could be surrounded by people and nobody would know that this is going on with you. So thankfully your father was aware and saw that you were in need. So yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm extremely grateful
Yeah.
um, for my dad to help me out in that way.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And just to answer a question from Tries Can Waves, yes, I do know how to swim, thank God. My mother was like, "Yeah, I might not know how to swim, but I definitely want you to make sure that I knew how to swim." So I'm not an expert. I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't win any medals in the Olympics if that was dependent on me. But she had me learn how to swim, learn how to figure skate. I did a little bit of gymnastics, thankfully. So been through all that. But yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else other, like, maybe Halloween related stories. Maybe there like, what was your, how should oh yeah, what was your first, like, I imagine you did go through Halloween at one point, right? Like that's something that's regular for you, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that
What was your
is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah. What was your first, like, Halloween memory? Like, do you remember what the first costume that you had, or?
Yeah, I do. So I remember a few things. I remember when I was younger, I got a pirate outfit, a pirate costume,
Mm.
and I really did not like it. And I remember telling my dad, like, I hate this costume. I wish I never got this costume because I wanted something. I wanted to be a ninja,
Of
and
course.
he gave me a pirate costume. But then when I was younger, I didn't realize that. Oh, wait, maybe that. they didn't have any more ninja costumes, and then maybe that's why he had to give me the pirate one.
Yeah, exactly.
So he had to give me a talking to on that one. And then, oh my gosh, and Church Can Wait said Naruto must have just came out. But yeah, at that time I was a little kid. I didn't even watch anime at that time.
What? How?
Yeah, I mean I was like 7 years old.
Weren't you born with an anime book in your hand?
No.
No.
Toonami was out around that time, I think. And actually, you know what? Toonami was out, so I probably had seen some anime by that time, but I didn't really pick up on it like that. Like they used to have Big O and Sailor Moon and stuff like that, and like Thundercats. So Thundercats ain't an anime, but stuff Sailor Moon and Big O and stuff like that was out
Of course,
on
yeah.
Toonami. But yeah, and another thing is that I remember one time my family is religious, right? So family's religious, so they had something called Hell Night at church. And what they used to do is we would go to church instead of going trick or treating. And
Of
I'll be
course.
like, I remember my cousins, on my dad's side, they would go trick or treating. And I would sit here like, okay, why is it that I can't go trick or treating with my cousins? I just remember being upset about that, and then sitting in the church all upset, arms folded and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, when we're kids, yeah, when you have a choice between church and candies is definite winner.
Right? Yeah. I didn't want to sit up here and be spending all this time in the church and stuff, falling asleep and carrying on. And then they always be like, "Oh, well, stop, wake up." That's what they always used to tell me. I'd be in church falling asleep.
I could imagine.
I mean, and not just fall. You ever fall asleep so hard that you drooling?
Oh yeah.
I remember, man. I fell asleep. I felt, you kind of start leading on to the side and stuff like that, and
of course.
And then drool falling out your mouth, and then I remember this one time I fell on like we were sitting in the pew. I fell on my grandma's lap, falling asleep. I was like, and then she always tell me like, "Wake up!" And it would just take so long for the church would just be going on for so long, especially at a black church. Because black church, they be saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna finish real quick." Give me he say something like, "I'll give you 5 more minutes" or something like that.
Sure.
Right, and you be in there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You like, man, I hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah.
You got up here at 9 o'clock.
It turns out to be a Before the Billions live stream or a She Sold My Thunder live stream. Yeah, just 5 minutes. No worries, we'll be out of here. Yeah, like you said, like 5-6 hours later. Wait, we're still here?
Exactly. It really would be that long because they have multiple services that they do. They had the 9 o'clock service, they had the 11 o'clock service. And, they actually had there was this guy talking about how he was trying to join this new church. And when he was trying to join the new church, he was asking what the hours were. And I think the hours were like 8 o'clock or something like that. He's like, "No, I can't wake up that early for Jesus."
Jesus can wait.
No. He gotta get his beauty rest.
Jesus got all eternity. I don't. He can wait.
So and then he said, and Blind got his right there. Like he said, those 30 benedictions at church.
Yeah, pretty much.
I swear, yes. But that's would be funny. And then you gotta put your finger up. You gotta put your index finger up in the air and put your head down so that way you excuse yourself.
Exactly. And you best be not the first person to leave because you knew you were getting judgments.
Right.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, black churches are definitely a unique experience, that's for sure. But yeah, so Mr. Awesome, I don't know if you're still with us. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I actually just
Yeah,
spoke to Mr. Awesome earlier.
yeah. I know it happens to him too, where he has his kid and so forth. So that might be what's
Yeah.
going on. But yeah, no, it's always interesting to have you and your stories. I know a lot of people were reacting to what you were saying earlier, and oh my goodness, you're you were. I think Trash Can Wave said he's drowning in the kiddie pool. What's going on here? But yeah, no, it's always fun to hear your stories.
Thank you
But
so much.
yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I'm always glad to have you guys here. I don't know if anybody else wants to join the stream, the live chat, guys. I'll put it in just in case anybody does want to join in. Um, I know you
Yeah.
said that you wanted to do a live stream tonight. What were you planning on talking about on your live stream?
This is another late night live work session.
Okay.
I'm actually planning on putting out some more videos, pre-recorded videos. I'm planning on doing a video a day for November in hopes of getting to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good plan. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm trying to do it and I'm trying to stay consistent with it, so that way I can, get to that 1,000 subscriber goal. I actually went on
Mm,
Pocket Watching with JT, his live stream, and then I was able to get up to 739 subscribers. I actually
mm.
had just got to 700 subscribers. Um, I want to say 2 days ago.
Oh, excellent! Congratulations! You're really getting up there really quickly.
Thank you. I'm trying to. I'm trying because I live stream with you guys
Mm-hmm.
all the time, and I try to put in my hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really, I just enjoyed speaking with you guys. Just really the biggest reason why I am trying so hard to you know do these long live streams and stuff like that, and live stream so often because I genuinely enjoy doing it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, I mean it's the same thing. And I was talking to Professor Black Ops early because he was also on the panel earlier, and like some of the because you can get the members relatively quickly depending on what your strategy is. You can get the videos like you said, like you put out one a day, and but what really will hold you back with the monetization is of course the watch hours. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's that when you have to get 4,000 minimum, that it takes a lot of people viewing your, if you're doing 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it takes a lot of people a lot of hours. But like you said, if you're doing live streams regularly, if you're putting out content regularly, people will be willing to watch you. And like I know I have a couple tabs open now. In fact, I think I have one of your playlist playing right now because that's the hardest thing to do is getting the watch hours. Who
yes,
wants,
it is.
like who wants to sit in front of your computer for 5 hours? But hey, you can have a tab open. YouTube isn't, they don't care if you're actually sitting in front of the TV and watching it. For all they know, like nobody's watching these live streams and so forth, and
Actually,
so
the funny thing is
yeah.
that they do care.
Oh, they
Um,
do, but
yeah, because they actually watch your camera
mm,
and they see if you're looking at the screen,
mm.
and if you're not looking at the screen, they play long ads.
Oh wow, really? I didn't know they had
Yeah,
that
so
tactic.
I actually had usually the ads would be like five. You may see a 5 minute ad or something like that
Mm.
sometimes. But then I remember I got an hour long episode as an ad.
What?
Yes, and that's not even the shortest. That's not even the longest amount of time. I've seen a 2 hour long ad before as well.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
actually do watch. They watch your eyes and see, like, okay, you know what? If you're on your phone,
mm.
then they see. Then they add on those extra ads.
Yeah, I was
But
about
yeah,
to say because I mean, it sounds ridiculous because as everybody knows, I obviously I don't cam up when I do a live stream either on my channel or others. But I literally, it sounds stupid, but I literally have a band-aid over the actual like camera hole, so like even if they turn, because there's a way for them to turn on your camera without you realizing it, right? So I'm so glad that, like, now that you say that, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad I do that, because I don't want to be spied on by Google or whatever, like, it's just crazy the tactics that they're willing to do. And I mean, it's wow, like it feels almost like an invasion of privacy almost. And then, like, trash can waves brings up Snowden, but I mean, it does definitely feel like that, where like you're wondering, like, what are they willing to do just to make sure that you are watching. And it's not like, I mean, I get it's the business, like YouTube is there to make money on people watching your lives or my lives, but it's like, you're like, is it really that important that they're gonna do all these tactics to make sure that you're really watching? Like, it's crazy. And all this
Right.
for, from a private corporation that's just, it's for the money. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even to, protect national security or something. It's just this private corporation trying to make a couple of dollars off of you and me. You know what I mean? It's just weird to me that they can permit themselves these kinds of things, so.
Right. But she stole my thunder. I do
Mhm.
have to drop.
Okay, not a
Uh,
problem.
Thank you so much for having me up on your panel.
Thank you for being here. So I'll let you go. So have a great night, and I'll see you soon on your live stream. So basically, if nobody else wants to join the live stream, I will call it a night for us as well. So this is your last chance, guys. I'll give you guys a good 2-3 minutes. If you have a a story, or if there's something else that you want to talk about, or a question that you have, feel free to join the stream, join the panel. Mr. Awesome, I know I put you in the back, but you're more than welcome to say, hey, I want to come back. If not, I wish everybody a good night. Feel free to join before the billions on his live stream that he will be starting. So again, I'm going to put the one last time the link to join. I'll give you guys 2-3 minutes. I see most of you are saying good night, so I will take it as a hint that for most of you it's been enough. But I'm glad that all of you have been here, and that you shared your stories, that you shared your experiences. Thank you, Kareen, for joining the panel. Thank you, Trash Can Waves, for joining the panel. Thank you, Professor Black Ops, for joining the panel. Thank you, Mr. Austin, for joining the panel. And of course, thank you to you, Before the Billions, for joining the panel. And thank you to everybody else for participating in the chat, and for, even just opening the tab and having this live stream going in the background. Any support that you guys can have for me is much appreciated. Yes, like everybody else, it is midnight for me here in Montreal. I imagine that it's late for a lot of you. So even though this night didn't quite go as planned, I'm so grateful that you guys made this live stream as interesting as it was. It was still 2 hours and a half long, and it was still a great conversation. I was glad that I didn't. And as usual, you guys did not disappoint. And it really just shows that even when a live stream does not go as planned, if you have a great audience, which you guys are, it still can be a fun night. It still can be enjoyable. It still can be something that is for the age. And you guys are what makes my channel work so well. You guys are what makes my live stream something that I am willing to take a risk on. Because even though, like I said, this didn't go as planned, I'm still here with you guys. I still enjoyed it. It was still something that I loved having, loved doing with you guys. And, as usual, like I said, you did not make me regret or disappoint me. I'm so glad to have seen all of you guys tonight. And happy Halloween. I hope you guys have a great night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. For some of you, I know I will be joining you guys any moment on Before the Billions live stream. If I don't see you guys there, have a great night. Enjoy November 1st, since it is technically November 1st for some of us here, at least of those of you that are Eastern Standard Time or earlier. So have a great night, guys. Thank you again for being here and for showing your support to me. And I hope everything works well. For those of you who have spouses or children, please give them a big hug and kiss from me. For those of you who are single, let's get out there. Let's get mingling, single, bilingual, and ready to mingle, as they say, right, guys? So have a great night. uh, Make sure to, for the parents, make sure to take the good candies from your kids and count it as a mommy or daddy tax, right? That's how it works. At least that's how I remember Halloween, a mommy and daddy tax for running around with the Halloween. So, again, have a great night, folks. Thank you for being here. Uh, Peace, deuces to everybody. Have a great night. Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.